Hi, Scott Machine Gun Dad. I want to tell you a story. It's about my experiences with YouTube before I started this channel. And some of it's kind of funny, some of it's kind of ironic. If you go back to when I retired in 2009, I was friends with a guy in Canada who I had mentioned before, and I even posted old 8mm video when I went up and worked on it, the movie Jumper with him, or for him. He was the boss. And we were going to start a YouTube channel. And the idea was that, you know, back in the wild days of 2009, when YouTube actually didn't censor stuff, since he was in the movie business, he had access to high level production cameras and stuff. And we were going to make these videos. He actually has a Sherman tank, and we were going to do a Kelly's Heroes spoof, and we had all these great ideas. The problem is it never came to fruition. He was either working, or one or both of us were going through a divorce, and, you know, blah blah blah, shit went sideways. So move forward a little bit. I went out and bought my first camera, and I started making videos, and I had a different name on my channel, and I think I had 100 followers. And the videos were basically, if I went to the range, I would film something. I didn't really do what I'm doing now with the setup. So another local guy, a local guy reached out and he says, let's do some videos. So he says, I'm going to call the channel Hell Yeah Tactical. I said, cool. So we did one video, and it was just blowing up some tannerite with some guns. Put in some music. Got no views. First of all, this was before YouTube started clamping down on using music in videos. He either lost interest or didn't want to put the time in. I don't think we've ever made another video. Every time we didn't have a place to shoot, a steady place to shoot, and every time I tried to get in touch with him to do more videos, he just didn't want to do it. So that fell by the wayside. So I'm struggling along making my little videos, and there's a company called Funkier Tactical, and they put a thing on they posted on their YouTube channel. They were looking for a gun girl, a gunsmith type guy, and an old guy, the old know-it-all guy, or that kind of crotchety guy. And they said, send in your resume and we'll see if you get the job. So my resume was, I sent them an email. I said, you know, Scott, I didn't have the name Machine Gun Dad at the time, and the content of the thing, instead of saying, you know, oh, I've got this many guns and I've got this much experience, the entire content of my application was, those people that think they know everything really upset those of us who do. That was it. That's all I said. I got the job, or at least got moved on in the process. So I had at the time posted a video on the SAR-80. This SAR-80, I believe. And it was just, I just filmed it at the range at the guy's house I used to hang with, and they took that and they added their intro, and they superimposed the letters SAR-80 in the background, and they said Scott USA, because I guess they're in Canada. 60,000-70,000 views. And I'm like, cool, so we're moving forward. How much money am I making? We're not giving any money for this. He says, we already made $150 on this. I said, yeah, but it didn't cost you anything to make it. I made it. It was my ammo. Don't I get a cut of that? He said, no, you don't get a cut of that. I'm like, well, I literally said in the email, this is fucking bullshit. I'm not doing it. If I'm going to do it for free, I'll do it for free for myself. I'm not going to do it to give you money. So that was my experience with the greed on YouTube. I then just continued along, and then I met Nick Chin from TFB TV, and and he introduced me to Miles, and they came up with a name for the channel, and that's how I got to where I am now. But I thought I'd give you a little example of, it's not that just that I've been Machine Gun Dad and I've been making videos, that I have been trying to get this information that I'm putting out for over a decade. So I'm going to keep trying. It's not a sob story. I kind of think it's kind of neat that if you're going to get into this, do it because you love it. I love the gun hobby. I don't love YouTube, but I love the gun hobby. I was just talking to Nick and Shannon this morning, and I'm like, I'm pretty much tired of YouTube because the only notifications I get from them are they've restricted another one of my videos. So I don't know how much longer we're going to be able to keep doing this, but we're going to keep struggling. But I thought you'd get a kick out of my multiple attempts to be a YouTube star, which I still haven't achieved that yet, but what the heck. Thanks again for listening to a story.